Hi, everyone. Welcome to Let's Be Social. I have a very special guest on today. His name is William Patrick. Thank you for joining me. And I just want to introduce you. You are a psychic medium and healer. And
Correct.
thanks for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Um, just wanted to ask you a little bit about your journey and how you kind of got started into being a psychic medium and healing, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so probably the first thing that happened to me, I was 4, 5 years old. This is like the first metaphysical experience. There was a kind of like a being of light at my door that I looked up and saw. I always thought it was like maybe Mother Mary. But my parents told me, it was a vision. So that's the actual first metaphysical experience I had. And then from there, I would see. I was an only child, so I would, when I was playing, I would have all these other friends there,
Mhm.
and they'd actually come through the TV, the back of the TV, and play with me. I used to play a lot with like He-Man and Skeletor and stuff. So I would have like a blast with them. But what happened with that was, my parents, I remember them being a little bit concerned, and they just told me, "Oh, that's just imaginary friends." So when I gave them that title, they went away. So it's kind of been like an on-off thing since then. And in high school, I used to like have dreams about people before they passed away. But when it really started to get going was in 2013. And by the way, I have always been an empath. But in 2013, my mom passed away, and I started meditating. Um, and during the meditation process, probably after 6 months, when I got really good, I actually met a psychic medium where I was working that used to come in there. And he was like, "Oh, you can go to different dimensions." It's like, really? So for whatever reason, I had like such confidence I could do it. I was able to astral travel into many different spirit realms and meet with spirit guides and kind of take a tour of the universe. And this is before I was really practicing as a business, but I did that and would continue to meditate, and then I started seeing people's auras after that.
Mhm.
Um, Not too much. A few years after that, I was seeing my own psychic and getting reading, and she was like, "You definitely have some sort of gift. Let's find out what it is." And she gave me some meditations to do. So um, during one of the meditations, after it was like a 2 week meditation. During the first week, my friend's dad, who had passed away, came to me and said hello, and then some other people that have passed, like my uncle's mom. Um, he was like from the other side of the family, like not my. He was like my mother's sister's husband's mom came in and she showed me the rosary beads and some other people as well. And from there, I just developed the skills. I took some courses, and I just started doing it. Started practicing for my friends for free, and then I started learning tarot as well because I do tarot as well. Tarot came very natural to me, but and then I just started moving forward with it, and then left my job and started doing it full time.
It's amazing. Um, and how do you connect the healing with that?
Healing, I learned after through one of my coaches. But I've always been told, like throughout my life, I was like a natural healer, just like by talking to people. But healing, I just took took her courses, got attuned to it, and I became very, very good at healing. And my healing consists of not just doing Reiki. It's like I take out like entities and sometimes demons and all kinds of things that the person sitting with me has going on.
Wow, that's impressive.
Mhm.
And how many years like did it take you to develop those skills? I know you said you kind of had them naturally. Was it a what is it, a period of like years where you were taking courses?
Nope.
Or just
Nope. That actually happened right away. As soon as I started taking the courses, I started just, I don't know how, I just started doing it. But come to find out through past life regressions, I've done this through every lifetime. I've either practiced magic or I've done healings, um, or work with divinity. That's why it probably became so natural. Astral travel, I mean, some people it takes years of training. I don't know. So that's probably why.
oh, okay. Nice.
But I believe everyone can do it, but I think it became easier for me because of that.
Right. And that you're already naturally an empath, you said, and also
Oh yeah.
you also have to, I think, be highly intuitive in order to
Yes,
be connect into all of that, right?
of course, yes.
That's crazy. I've never met anyone that does all that. I mean, I've done my share of like going to see psychic mediums here and there, right? Like over the years, I've seen a couple
Yeah.
that I've gone to a couple times, and
hmm
yeah, it's very interesting how people can connect into other people's energy.
hmm
You, is that what you would say? Is you're connecting into someone else's energy, or
Well, yeah, I mean, during a tarot reading, yeah, for sure. My when I do psychic mediumship, what I do is like basically go into a trance and communicate with them. I guess it would be in the astral realm. I would get my messages. So, it's kind of like I go somewhere.
okay, interesting.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
meditation sort of helped you.
Yeah, I would say meditation is my foundation. Yeah. Meditation is my foundation for all of it. For sure, because if I didn't start meditating, I wouldn't have moved forward with it. I wouldn't have astral traveled and
Right.
I wouldn't have went to, different realms and met with guides and all of that. Yeah. So for me, that was, my foundation.
Okay. And is there any specific time that you spend meditating every day to kind of get yourself?
Yeah. I usually spend 15 to 20 minutes doing just a regular meditation well, I put like high vibrational music on, and then I do my own clearing, um, and grounding work as well.
Okay,
And
nice.
then I go to the gym and run. That's like a moving meditation. And also make sure I make some time, especially during this time of year, to make sure I go out in nature, which is very grounding and healing for me. And that helps, when I'm grounded and healed, it helps my work, you know.
Do you find it, some people find it draining after a reading? Do you find that?
It's funny, for whatever reason, when I do tarot, it does not drain me. When I do mediumship, it does. When I do healings, it very, very much drains me. I get very tired when I do after healings.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, so you said you do it now as a business. Is it a full-time business?
Full time, yes.
Okay. And is there one particular thing that you like doing more than something else? Like, do you have a favorite?
Not really. I kind of like it all. It depends on the person's needs, I guess, like what the person needs. So then I offer what's going to help them, you know.
So someone could just come in and just you offer, is there certain days you do healings or people just come to you and say, I need this, you know?
Yeah, I'm not really that organized with my like days like that. It's kind of like I kind of go with the flow. Whoever's in front of me, or contacts me rather.
Right.
I talk to them. I'll usually set up a call, try to find out what's going on.
Okay.
So I'll set up a call first and say what's going on, and then I'll recommend something from there.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you do like online stuff as well? Like online, can you tap into people, reading people online as well, or is it all in person?
Most of my work is virtual, so a lot because I have a lot of clients out of state, and yeah, it doesn't matter if they're virtual or not.
Right. Okay. Well,
Same
that's
same thing for me, at least. Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
Um, okay. You want to tell us a little bit more about something in particular there that you want to kind of expand upon at all?
Sure. What would you like to know about? Which
Um, all of it's very interesting. Um, I don't know, tell me more about these dimensions that you were talking about. Tell me.
oh, that's a very yeah, that's very interesting. So, um, when the medium told me I could go to different dimensions, I really thought I was like going through walls and things like that. I thought I was gonna go through like different dimensions of like Earth, but I didn't go to Earth. I went up for whatever reason. I went into space, and I ended up going past space. Um, Actually past space into like this blue void. And these three little spirit guides came over. They were like the cutest little things. They had hoods on, and they were like, "Come on, come on, come on!" So I followed them, and they took me to a land of flowers. So well, it's like it was like a path, and all these flowers were around, so very, very beautiful.
Mhm.
And so we're they're like shining your light from your chest. So we're walking down this land of flowers and they're shining our light out of our chests, all four of us. But then I felt something like really, really negative, and I was like, "What is that? What is that?" And they were like, "Oh, don't worry." That's they said like really like nonchalantly. They're like, "Don't worry, don't worry. That's just the reptilians." And I'm like, "Okay." So just and they were like, "Just shine your light. Just shine your light on them." Actually, I think that's when we started shining the light when they said the reptilians would just shine your light. So
Mhm.
then they went away, and then like that feeling. I never saw like the reptilians, but I could feel it. And they went away, and then we just continued to shine our light throughout that land of flowers. So after that, um, I was briefly in a room of mushrooms. The room was like made of mushrooms, and then someone gave me a mushroom, and I took it. So I guess that was like a spiritual. I don't know what it was.
Okay.
So after that, they took me back into space, and that they were like, "We're gonna teach you how to fly." So then I started flying around space. I got a little out of control flying, and they're like, "Don't go over there, don't go over there." And I went to where they were telling me not to go because I was so out of control. And the only thing I could think of is like I don't know, it was like a black hole. I don't know what it was, but I fell into like this hole, and then I was just looking up, and there were clouds, and I was like trying to move the clouds out of the way, and I was floating, and they came down with a rope and picked me back up to where they were. Um, from there, we they said we're gonna. Actually, they didn't even say anything. We just said like follow me, and there were these hoverboards, these golden hoverboards. So we got on the hoverboards and started flying around, like going on the hoverboards around the universe, or around space, really. And I was like doing flips on the hoverboard, and it was just like the feeling I had was like nothing but like pure love. It was not a feeling I've ever felt here on Earth. It was so high vibrational.
Okay.
So there's a little bit more to that story. Like I said, can I see my mom after that? And then my mom came in the form of a rock, and then I just felt just more love. It was huge, like huge rock.
Mhm.
But when I came back, actually, I it was hard to be on Earth because like there you can just do anything. You can fly, you can do all this stuff, like just like the regular things of life.
Yeah.
It took me like 2 weeks. It took me like 2 weeks to get back to normal after that.
Wow.
Yeah, just being in traffic would really bother me, anything, because like if you're there, like it's different. You can go right through anything, you know.
Yeah.
So the I don't know if density is the right word. The like what we have here, like it's not there. You know what I mean? Like I could go right through this, like this bar right here. You know?
Yeah. So you're free. You're almost like a free.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Very interesting. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Um, I've never met anyone that's experienced that before, so that's very fascinating to me. Um, Is there a particular clientele that you see with your Reiki, like your healing, that type of thing? Do you see like a specific type of people, like people with cancer, people with trauma? Is there anything specifically that you see more of?
Not specifically. I would say most people that need healings definitely have some sort of trauma, and we all have some sort of trauma as well. Um, so if they're coming to me, there's a reason, especially for a healing. There's a reason they're not feeling right. There's something there, and that's my job to find out what it is. So I'm working with my guides. I'm really having my guides do the healing. I'm just facilitating.
Right.
So they're taking out, entities, parasites, everything right up to a demon, which I don't like to. I mean, I'd rather not work with some. I mean, I'd rather not do that, but
Mhm.
it does come up a lot, and I like to help people. So yeah, I've removed demons as well. Um, and just clear the person up, and get them feeling better. And it's also up to them to continue to do the work that I give them, like their daily practices as well, to continue to stay healthy. Because it's not just you're doing a few healings with me and then you go back to the things you used to do. I'm going to give you some techniques to use going forward to keep yourself where you need to be.
Right. Very good. Now, is it with your guides and stuff like you were talking about, they kind of facilitate it, you're just kind of like the vessel, right? You're sort of like the toolbox that they use.
Yeah.
Um, is it when you see spirits and stuff like that, how can I say, do you see them all the time? Like everyday people? That's what I want to ask you. Like, do you see spirits every day in the environment, kind of all the time?
No, you mean and no, I don't. I don't see spirits every day, in physical reality. I've seen them more through my mind's eye. I kind of block that off. I chose not to see things flying around my house constantly. I completely block that off for myself because I don't want to do that. And I also have office hours. So I call my guides in, you know, and my guides are higher vibrational guides as well.
Hmm.
So I'm seeing most of my stuff through my mind's eye. I can see them, but it's not physical.
Hmm. Okay.
It's through the third eye, is
Okay.
the way I see them.
Okay.
Um, because that's the way I would prefer to do it. So yeah, to answer your question, no, I do not. But I am constantly communicating with my guides, like from everything I do, um, on a daily basis. Like most of my decisions, I'm asking them.
Okay. Now, if someone wanted to get into that, how, how would how would someone get into that? Tap into that?
Um,
They're
I
like,
would say there's really no one journey. It's everyone's journey is going to be a little bit different. I would say they would be using their synchronicities and their intuition to take a step at a time towards it.
okay.
Because you see, like even with me, it started when I was young, and then there was breaks and all of that, and then when my mom died, it kind of got flowing a little bit. But even I wasn't doing readings for people at that time. It wasn't until years later, so everyone's going to have their own journey. And I mean, you would have to be into it, first of all. That's the first thing. And be called, I guess, called to it, if that's for lack of a better term. You'd have to have something, be passionate about it.
Yeah.
And I think if that person followed that, the synchronicities would fall into place for them. And that's going to look different for each person.
Yeah, and that makes sense. I guess, and I guess it depends too how far, because some people aren't as spiritually evolved, right, as others.
Correct. Yeah, correct. So the people that aren't spiritually involved, I would just say that probably have some other sort of passion that
Yeah, of course.
they're doing, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, that's good. You can kind of you have your downtime outside of office hours, and you don't have to, because I've heard, I mean, you can think about movies we've seen and stuff like that.
Yep. Hmm.
People are always around people, so there's no downtime, right? That's what I was.
Yeah, yeah. Luckily, I was told that I was the way I was trained is to have office hours because you don't want spirits coming to you constantly because that started to happen at first, and I was like, "Whoa, everybody, back up!" And there's boundaries, just like in life.
Right,
There's boundaries,
of course.
so it's the same thing in the spirit world.
Right. That's very interesting. Very interesting. So would people take courses then if they were interested? Is that how you start meditating?
Maybe, yeah, it's going to be different. That those are options. It's going to be different for everybody.
Okay, interesting. Um, yeah,
And I
my
coach too. If anyone's interested and they feel called to that, I coach that as well. They can contact me. And I'll
okay.
give my info later. You know,
Yeah,
before
of
we.
course. Yeah, I was just going to ask you that. Is there somewhere that people can reach out if they want to get a reading, a healing,
Yeah.
coaching? That would be really nice for viewers to know that.
Absolutely. So I'm on Instagram at Intuitive Visions 401. That's my Instagram handle. I'm also on TikTok at Intuitive Visions, and I'm on Facebook. It's William Patrick, but you probably have to look up the city, which would be Providence, Rhode Island. It might be under North Providence, Rhode Island. And my website is intuitivevisions.org, www.intuitivevisions.org, which lists all of my my services on there. What the prices are on there as well.
Wonderful. Well, that's amazing. I mean, it's a fascinating thing that you're doing. I
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, you don't meet someone every day that does those things, right? Like you might meet someone that's the modality is just Reiki, or you go
Yeah,
to a medium and that's primarily all they do. So
true.
interesting
That's
to
true.
meet someone that kind of does all of those things together.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's very much appreciated.
Yeah, that's really great. And I will put all the stuff in my description. I have a YouTube channel and I'll share it across all my social media. So hopefully
Awesome.
people will reach out to you if they need help.
Awesome.
I think everyone needs some sort of help, right?
Oh, absolutely. I think everyone needs some guidance, at least some guidance, of what to do next, or confirmation. Like with a lot of my readings, it's like I even tell them, actually, you already know this answer. You just need confirmation, and it's just reassuring to them that they're making the right move for themselves. What they already know.
And even just people grieving losses,
Absolutely.
wanting to kind of reconnect
Oh,
with past.
absolutely. Yeah, I would say with the mediumship, just make sure you're ready. It's a very intense experience, and you know, you're probably gonna cry. But
Probably.
it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. So
Well, thanks again, William. And like I
thank
said,
you.
I'll post everything down below. And thank you so much.
Thank you.